Hey guys and gals, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shaneko. If you're new here, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and support your girl on her makeup and journey. I'm just basically doing a review on the new Fenty powder by Rihanna, Pro Filt'r Instant Retouch Setting Powder, and the Pro Filt'r Instant Retouch Setting Concealer. I got the shade 290 and 310, and we're gonna see which one just basically works for my skin and my face. Let's just hop right into it. I know I don't really make as much YouTube videos, but for 2019, you're just gonna expect more from your girl. Okay, to my normal regular routine, I always start with moisturizer, and my favorite of life is the Tatcha moisturizer. You know, moisturize your face because you need to. It's so cold outside, and I literally went outside with no moisturizer, no type of lotion on my feet, and I was like, yeah, the girl is real ashy right now. So not trying to be ashy for the new year. I usually go in with eye cream, and my favorite one is from Philosophy, Renewed Hope in a Jar, and it looks like this under the eyes. I just noticed that I really do like using this because it depuffs my eyes. For the full review, to get a full test of the products, I'm going to be using the Fenty Instant Retouch Primer and the foundation, and my shade is in shade 300. I do notice that I do get some oxidization from it, so I think I'm gonna just buy the shade 310 to see if that works out for me, because this does oxidize on me. Let's just take the primer. I like to make my moisturizer and my eye cream kind of like sit a little bit before I go in with my makeup. So, you know, just let it sit for a little while. And then I like to go in with the primer and just smear that all over my face. I'm gonna do my eyebrows off camera, because if we do that, then we will be here all day, and I'm not trying to have that. I'm trying to have a decent, you know, a decent amount of time for a review. So I'm just gonna go in with the brows in dark brown, and I'll be right back. I also did go in with some Plouise base. I always like to use this for my eyeshadow. I also did set my brows when I set them with the clear brow gel. So nothing special there. That's just what I do. Probably gonna use the Morphe 24G palette, the Glam, and I do love this. It looks like that. Got some nice beautiful shades in here, some nice like warmy tones, and yeah, that's kind of like what I have, what I'm thinking about doing anyway. And I like to go in with the MAC 22, what is this? Yeah, MAC 224 for blending out eyeshadow colors. And that brown right there. And I'm gonna just blob that all over my eyes. So the key to blending is to start out light and then work your way up. So just like what I'm doing, starting light and then working my way up. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with a clean little blending brush and just do this. This has no product on it. I like to do this just to soften out that color in the crease. Go back in with my brush, same brush, the 224, MAC 224, and just blend that nice and even. Morphe M433 brush, and I'm gonna use this brown here. Go into that, into the crease of the eye, and I'm not bringing it like in here. I'm just stopping it right in the middle. Definition into the crease, just halfway. So this look is coming along. I'm just literally winging it because I have no idea what I wanted to sit down and do, and I just knew I wanted something warm tone. First shade that we used, and just put that over it to smoke it out. Take this pigment, which is so cute. I love it. It is the Patrickstarrr by MAC pigment in, oh my god, it's gold. And I'm just gonna put that on my lids. Let me be careful because I'm so clumsy. I will spill everything. Like, oh, see, there I am. I'm already spilling shit. Take my MAC 224, no, this is the 242, and I'm just gonna spray this with some Fix Plus. Usually I like to go in with, like, you know, the Inglot gel liner so that it has something to adhere to. I'm just, you know, gonna glide this on. Okay. Oh, look at that. I don't know if y'all can see that, but that is so pretty. And I'm just putting this all over the lids. It kind of reminds me of the MAC blue brown pigment, but it doesn't have that bluey tone in there. It just has like a nice burnt gold. Now going back into that Morphe palette, I'm going to take that same first color, this one, and we're just going to go over and define everything. The Sigma E38 brush into the crease some more. Sometimes I have to go back into colors to make sure that one doesn't get lost. So taking back that darker brown that we used earlier, this one, and I'm just gonna go back in that, and I'm gonna make sure that it is not lost. So I'm just gonna take this more on the outside of the crease and here. Go back and re-up on the lids. Alright, so onto the face. What I usually like to do for foundation purposes, I like to take, you know, a foundation brush and the foundation, and I like to go smooth that onto my face. Again, I'm in the shade 300 for Fenty foundation. Or how about this? We'll do one side with the brush and the other side with a beauty blender sponge. This kind of really doesn't disturb my makeup. I like to use this brush, and this brush is any old foundation brush you can use, but this is from Doll 10 and it's in the number 16 brush. I'm just smoothing that on. Be careful where the eyebrows are, and I just like to use that there. Cool, 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 cool. Beauty blender, I love to go over that. One thing I really love about the Fenty foundation is that it's a really natural finish and you can build it up. So this is one side, no makeup, makeup. This is with the sponge. Yeah, this foundation is so lightweight, like you can really build it up to the coverage that you really want. It's really up to you and your preference. Good if you have not tried it or gotten a chance to try it out. It is really good. I recommend it. I love the finish that it gives me. It is like your skin but better. Next I have the concealer shade, and when I went into the store, I originally picked up the shade 290, but I just wasn't happy with like that shade in particular because it looked really neutral on me, and I am an olive girl. I did go back and I picked up the shade 310, and this is the shade 290 and this is the shade 310. We're gonna use, I'll swatch them for you guys. The top and that is the shade 310, and the bottom is the shade 290. As you can see, it's more neutral, and this one just has more yellow tone to it. I think that will probably complement me better. How about this? I'm gonna use the setting powder in the shade Banana. This is the packaging it comes in. It is so cute. I love it. So fancy too. And I feel like Fenty's packaging has always been really top-notch and high quality. And come on, the setting powders are no different. It's kind of like hexagon shaped with a silver lining in the bottom. And I got the shade Banana because I do want that color to kind of like brighten and set my under eyes and like the side of my face. So we're gonna set one eye with that, and then I'm gonna go in and compare the other eye with the Patrickstarrr setting powder, infamous Patrickstarrr powder. Shade 310, and how I normally just do my eyes. And down my eye. So the first impression is that I'm definitely feeling like this is like a medium coverage. It feels thicker than the foundation for sure, but not so thick. Like I feel like the Tarte Shape Tape, the Jouer full coverage, essential full coverage concealer is way thicker than this consistency, and you can definitely build it up. So the reason why I use this much concealer is because I have a hooded under eye, and that's just what I do. So let's blend it out. Yeah, so I have like a hooded under eye, and I notice when I use too less concealer, it doesn't really cover my dark circles the way how I like it. So you can see this is blended out nicely. To the sides of the nose and the eye. Not so bad so far. I'm liking it. Powder is $32 for the powder, and the concealer is $26. So yeah, that's kind of steep for a concealer, but it is high end, so I will expect nothing but the best. I just feel like they want to charge so much, it has to be the best, right? That's not necessarily always the case though. I don't know if it's my face, but I did moisturize. I am getting some dryness on the sides of my nose, but I just think that's my skin and not necessarily the foundation, because prior to this video I did not really exfoliate or do that type of stuff to my face. It did me good for that second layer. This Fenty product review, we're just gonna go in with Fenty, and I'm taking my favorite, which is a Truffle Match Stix, and I like to go in with this, the side of my nose, my chin, and the sides of my face. So just a little bit of that. Now we're just gonna blend that out with Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. This blends out really nicely, so that's why I like it. So I'm using all Fenty products today for the face. I find like when I use like powders and creams, like it just makes my contour, or you know, my bronzer and stuff like that last a whole lot longer. So that's why I love to use creams and then powder. Under the chin, because I got a double chin. I gotta hide that, you know? I gotta hide that because we ain't all flawless out here, you know? We try our best to be, but we ain't all flawless. Back in with my beauty blender and just soften those edges out. Alright, so this is how we are looking. And I love it so far. The concealer is creasing though. I do get creasing, so that's normal to me. I don't know if you guys can see that, but like, it is creasing. That's why I like to go back underneath and pat out the creases and then apply powder on top of it, and then it's flawless. Pat out the creases and go in on the left side with the Fenty powder. We're just gonna bake the eyes. I'm not gonna bake for too long. I'm just mainly gonna leave it on there for like a few minutes. It is like the winter time, so I don't like to bake for too long because it is cold and things will start to dry up quicker. Gonna flip over the other side and pick up the Patrick powder. So the Patrick powder is definitely white and translucent color as opposed to the Fenty Beauty. Okay, so yeah, you can see the big difference in color, but they're both supposed to like blend out translucent. Now I'm just gonna go back into the Fenty and I'm gonna use that on the other highlighted parts of my face. I'm gonna like bake with it a little bit. So I have not laid down any contour as yet, because I just want to basically focus this on the powder. So what do you guys think so far? I used the Fenty Beauty on my highlighted areas and down my cheek to cut that out, but under my eyes I have Fenty here and I have the Patrick powder here. Just gonna let that sit for a little bit and then we're gonna go in and use bronzer and then powder, etc, etc. So for my bronzer today, I'm definitely gonna go in with my favorite Give Me Sun bronzer. Use the Real Techniques setting brush and just dust off that powder. I really do like it so far. Wow. I feel like it does not emphasize my hollowness under my eye. And let's dust off the Patrick powder. I don't know. What do you guys think? Oh my gosh. They both look like really good to me. The only difference I see is that the Patrick powder kind of like, I don't know, it just brightens it a tad bit more than the Fenty shade Banana. They did have a lighter shade, I think it was called Butter, but that's the only difference. I love the finish of both. They don't emphasize my hollowness, and yeah, I don't know what y'all think. I really do like both sides. Even though the Patrickstarrr is a little bit lighter, I just feel like the Fenty side with the concealer and probably like the formula as well, it just looks better overall than the Patrick powder. So I'm gonna just go back in with a little bit of Fenty and see if we put that on top of the Patrick powder. Let's see if we get like any difference. I like this. Oh, I like this. There's something about that banana powder that kind of just snatches everything. And it's really good for dark circles because yellow tones counteract dark. And I don't really like to color correct my dark circles. I like to go in with extra concealer to cover it all, or just a little bit of foundation. But yeah, look at that. With the Fenty on top of it, it just looks better. I feel like the Patrick side was a little bit bright, too bright for the look I'm going for. And like the banana shade really works because it has some yellow in it. You guys got to see the application. You guys got to see how one powder versus the next powder. And I must say that there's no cracking up underneath my eye or any like dry patches. I don't really see anything different than what my normal makeup application would be. This definitely is a natural type of concealer with the consistency, the formula. It's just a little bit more on the natural sheer side. It is not really thick to me. I feel like the Tarte Shape Tape and the high coverage Joy concealers are way thicker than this in consistency. So is it really high coverage? In my opinion, no. It is definitely medium buildable coverage. You can build it up to what you need it to be. So what I would probably recommend if you want this powder, you should definitely go out and get it. Just buy it towards your skin tone. That will give you the finish that you guys would like. You know, if you go too bright, then it looks weird, and if you go too dark, then it's not your skin or complexion color. You're not gonna like the overall final look. Be right back. All right, guys, welcome back. So this is the final look. It is definitely holding up well, this concealer and the powder, and I really do love that this goes with my skin tone. Finished off the rest of my makeup, and what I did use was the Fenty highlight in Hustla Baby, my highlighter, MAC Cork lip pencil, more creamer please from those of Desi and Katie. And then I went over top of that with the Mickey Mouse Mwah lip gloss. Literally a $2 blush from the beauty store, and it's from the brand called Nika K. Be very careful with this because a little bit goes a long way, and it's very pigmented. Set my whole face with MAC Studio Fix, and I'm just loving the outcome so far. What I do recommend is that you guys go in person to Sephora and get color matched in person, because the shade 290, I'm most likely going to be bringing that back because shade 310 is more up my alley than the shade 290. It's just a little bit more neutral, and I'm an olive skin tone type of girl, and I need a little bit of yellow. That it's supposed to match my foundation or the closest thing to it. Remember, I'm a shade 300, and you go according to the shade that you are in the foundation. These shades of the concealer, it was very confusing, and this is definitely not something that you can buy online. Up from 300, there were some darker colors, and then going down from 3 colors, there were some lighter colors. So I don't know what the shade range is with that, but overall the product is great. Go in person for this bad boy. I'm gonna bring you guys closer. My under eye. So far so good, but let's take it the extra mile and let's go for that wear test. Let's see how she holds up. Hey guys, welcome back. So it is now 11:30 and I've had my makeup on since 7:30. So as you guys can see, I'm just a little bit oily on my nose. The makeup is holding up well, really up to par, and I'm really happy about it too. This makeup can go on for another 7 hours, so totaling 7 plus 4, that's probably like 11 hours. Like, this is set, honey. Like, this is not going anywhere. Overall, it's a thumbs up in my book, and I want to thank you guys for watching this video. If you want to see more from me, then just make sure you subscribe on the bottom bar. Everything will be under the description bar. If you ever forget, just don't forget to look. It'll be right below.